Good morning, dear students, and welcome to our next segment of active and passive voice. Today, students, I'm going to discuss some examples with you. Some questions we will solve together so that the concept of active and passive voice and how the verb is changed into passive form when we are doing a passage is more clear to you. Let us first of all see what kind of question do we get in that. The question says, read the instructions carefully and complete the passage that follows. This clearly shows that some hints or some instructions are given and then a passage is given. So we have to choose the verb from the instructions given and change its form according to the tense, or if we have to see it's a question, or we have to see it's an imperative sentence, or it has models in that. Keeping everything in our mind, we change the main verb and fill in the blanks to complete the passage. It is not only the verb, children. What we have to keep in mind is that whatever is left out from the passage, a passage is given and some words may be missing from that. Those also we have to take from the instructions and put them in the blank and make it a complete or whole meaningful passage. Now let's see question number 1. In these questions, you are going to learn many good things to cook also. And by doing so, you can help your mother at home. So in our first question, we are going to learn how to make a lemonade. You know lemonade? Lemonade is a lemon drink. Now the set of instructions first we have to read. Take a glass of water, add 1 tablespoon of sugar. Stir with a spoon, squeeze a lemon into it, add a pinch of rock salt, add 2 or 3 ice cubes, stir and serve cold. Now these are simple instructions. Now we have a paragraph in which the verb is missing and some other parts of the sentence also, a very few. But we have to change the verb now in passive form. Remember, a glass of water is. Now here is given. So with this is, we have understood that the passage is in present tense. So whatever verb we are going to use it in present tense. Now let us take one blank at a time. A glass of water is. Now take a glass of water. What is the verb? Take. Is already given. So what will be the verb? Is taken. Simple present goes to is and the third form of verb. So is taken. And a tablespoon of sugar. Tablespoon of sugar. Add 1 tablespoon. A tablespoon is given. So add sugar. Add is also simple present. Is added. With help of a spoon, dash, stir with a spoon. With help of a spoon, stirred it. With help of a spoon, or we can write it is stirred. Then a lemon, dash into it. Squeeze a lemon into it. So a lemon is squeezed into it. And a pinch of rock salt, dash. Add a pinch of rock salt. So what is a pinch of rock salt? Add. Add is again simple present. So here we will put is added. Finally, ice cubes, dash. Add 2 or 3 ice cubes. Again add. First form of verb. If it is ice cubes, then it is are added. So finally, ice cubes are added and it is stirred. Now the last point says stirred and serve cold. So it is stirred and it is served cold. Easy. Now I will teach you how to write the answers. But I don't have, now here below this we write the answers. Here I don't have space, so I have to write these instructions. Now let us start writing the answers. A glass of water is Now here children, is already given. So we will not write is there with the answer. We will write just the third form of verb, that is taken, for the first blank. And a tablespoon of sugar. Now what was the instruction? The instruction was add 1 tablespoon of sugar. So a tablespoon of sugar is added. Dash with help of a spoon. The third instruction was stir with a spoon. So a glass of water is taken and a tablespoon of sugar is added. With help of a spoon, it is stirred. Now, it was missing here. So, I added it. Otherwise, the passive form is stirred. Right? Then comes the D. A lemon dash into it. The instruction was squeeze a lemon into it. So when I take it to the passive form, it changes to is squeezed. Then you have a pinch of rock salt. The instruction said add a pinch of rock salt. So a pinch of rock salt is added. Simple. Finally, ice cubes. The instruction said add 2 or 3 ice cubes. So where it is ice cubes, I will have to write are added. Now see, I told you that the helping verb ismr is added according to the subject, the number of nouns in the subject. Here I have ice cubes, so I am writing are added. Added, stirred, are added, and it is stirred. The mixture is stirred. And it, sorry, this will be G. And it dash cold. The last sentence says stir and serve cold. Now it is stirred and it is served cold. Interesting? It is very simple and very interesting. You just have to be careful about the tense and just remember how the present tense changes, how the past tense changes, how the verb with modals changes, how interrogative sentence change. That's all. Now let us see the next question, the second question, which is again going to teach us a very good thing. How to make tea. Now let us read first the instructions. Take a cup of water in a pan. Place the pan on fire. Add 1 teaspoon of sugar and some cardamom seeds. Let it boil. Add half teaspoon of tea leaves and half cup of milk. Let the tea brew for some minutes. Take the pan off fire, seal in a cup and serve hot. Now, these were the instructions and now the passage is given in which we have to choose the verb from these instructions and change them into the passive form according to their tense. And also we have to write the leftover words because we have to complete the paragraph. Now let us start writing the answers. First thing that we have to do is we have to catch the tense of the passage. A cup of water was first. Now was is there. That means the passage is in past tense. So we have to change the verb in the past tense. First instruction was take a cup of water in a pan. And it says a cup of water was first taken in a pan. Now that much part of the sentence was also missing. So I had to write taken in a pan. It dash. Only it. So I have to write the complete sentence to complete the passage, to give it a meaning. The second instruction was place the pan on fire. Then it was placed. Was, and the third form of verb, placed on fire. It was placed on fire. Third instructions, add 1 teaspoon of sugar and some cardamom seeds. And the third blank says, then a teaspoon of sugar and seed dash. There is no mention of cardamom seeds and what are done to them. So we have to write that full. A teaspoon of sugar and some cardamom seeds were added. And some Now the next instruction, it says let it boil. Now let it boil means the pan was left there so that the mixture boils. Now what the blank says, it says it was dash. Was is already there, so we don't write was. We write it was left to boil. Let it boil means we are leaving it there so that it boils. So it was left to boil. Now the next blank. The fifth instruction says add a half teaspoon of tea leaves and a half cup of milk. And what the blank says? A half teaspoon of. Only teaspoon of. Teaspoon of tea leaves. Now as there is no mention of milk, so we will have to write it. And a half cup of milk. Now these are two separate things, so were added. Were added. Now F says tea was dash, and what the instruction says, let the tea brew for some minutes. Now tea was again left to brew. Tea was is already given, so left to brew for some minutes. Was left to brew for some minutes. The next instruction tells us take the pan off the fire. That is the G1. The pan dash. The pan was taken off the fire. And then what we did, the instruction says sieve in a cup and serve hot. Now, was taken off the fire, then it says tea. Tea was sieved. We strain, no? That is sieved. Was sieved in a cup and served hot. Isn't it interesting? We just have to be careful. The most important thing about the tense of the passage, and the next important thing is that we have to complete the passage. So whatever is missing, it is given in the instructions, but it is not given in the passage. So we have to write those words also. And how to incorporate, I have explained it. We'll understand it more. Let's do another question. Now let us discuss the third question. It is very interesting and very useful to you. How to paint diyas for Diwali. Let us quickly read the instructions. Paint the inner side of diya with white poster color. Draw simple lines, dots or triangular shapes with different color. If required, paste mirror or beads. Let it dry and later use on Diwali. Now, what we have to catch is, we have to read the paragraph and find out which tense is to be used in the paragraph. In which form the verb is to be changed. Let us see. The inner side of diya doesn't give us a hint. So we read on. With white poster color. Simple lines, dots and triangular shape dash. Still not clear. Let us read further. If required, it is. Now this is telling us that we have to use present tense to change the form of verb from here. Dash and later these can dash Diwali. The passage is clear and the instructions are also very clear. Now let us quickly solve it. It says the inner side of diya dash with white poster color. Let us see the first instruction. Paint the inner side. So the inner side of diya is painted. Is verb, helping verb, and inner side singular, so is painted, the third form, with white poster color. That much is completed. Next, simple lines, dots and triangular shapes. Dash. Draw simple lines, dots, triangular shapes with different colors. Now dash, it doesn't mention with different colors. So what we write? Shapes are drawn. Are plural because there are many things. Are and drawn, the third form of verb, draw. Are drawn with different colors. Then if required, dash. If required, mirror or beads are pasted. Then it is dash. Let it dry. Earlier also we did let. I told you that it is left there. So it is left to dry. It is left to dry. And later these can later use on Diwali. Later these can, when can is there, it will be modal, so it will be used. It can be used on Diwali. Clear? Now let us write the answers. The inner side of diya is painted. With white poster colors. Simple lines, dots and triangular shapes are drawn with different colors. C blank says if required, and the instruction you know, if required, mirrors or beads, paste mirrors or beads. So if requires, mirrors or beads can be pasted. Because it is saying if required. Then it is let it dry. The instruction was let it dry. So it is left to dry. And the E blank says later these can, model is given, can be used on Diwali. I hope you have understood how to incorporate the missing words also along with the change of the verb. Now with this, I believe, children, that you have clearly understood that how we do the procedures or the process writing in passive form. I'll be sending you some exercises. So keep practicing and enjoy your day. Have a nice time. Thank you.